Hi, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Girls to Women. Today's episode is called Women in Culture, and today we have a new guest. Her name is Patricia. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Okay, hi. Hi, my name is Patricia. I'm from Peru. I live in Yarli, and I have two kids, and I live in a beautiful area here, and I'm very happy. And I work in New York.
So, as today's episode is about women in culture, you said you came from Peru. So, when did you come over, kind of, to the U.S. from Peru, and how was that like? How was that like?
Okay, I came when I was 20 years old. Um, And the first city that I moved was New York City, and you can
Oh wow,
only
yeah, that's a big one.
yeah, that's a big one. And especially coming from a small town in Peru, it was a little bit of everything. It was mixed feelings. Like it was different, big, loud, and sometimes a little bit overwhelming too. But um, overall it was nice because I was young too, and so I learned um a lot of things at the beginning. So and the culture was obviously different, but it was everything was new too for me, so it was very interesting um to be in a big city, to learn from other people, to like to see different things. And it was um it was a big thing, but also at the same time it was a little bit scary and overwhelming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you moved to a whole different country, for
Yes,
sure. And you started in like one of the biggest cities that we have. Um,
exactly.
was it like an easy transition for you from like coming to Peru to like here, or was it, a little bit tough?
It wasn't easy. At least I had an aunt, so I arrived to her house, so the cultural thing wasn't like the transition was easy, not as difficult as you go in by your own. um it wasn't, I mean, like cultural, like food and all of that. My aunt continued with the same things, traditions from Peru, so that part I didn't miss. But I miss my parents, I miss the my friends, the way that I was basically living in Peru. It was much easier for me to live under
Right.
my parents, of course. uh and then coming to New York, it was a lot of more responsibilities, more like taking care of yourself, taking care of things around you. And so it was a little bit more like you have to grow up. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I guess yeah, because you are living by yourself at that point, and then it's you're kind of stuck by yourself in a new country. But what do you think? So out of all these like differences, like because it was a whole new country and stuff, what was something that you found was like kind of the biggest difference between living in Peru and then living in here?
I found that in Peru, well, there's few different things, right? Like, for example, food. It was for us. We have to have 3 meals a day, and usually it was my parents were there and like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
So, and coming here and living with my aunt and my uncle, and sometimes nobody had breakfast except for me and my sister, that we both came together.
Mhm.
And so, or not even like together, so each of us, we have to go out to study or to
Yeah.
work or to do things, right? So life was very uh, fast. That was a big difference for me. In Peru, you have like, you go early in the morning to school, but you have breakfast with your parents, then you go to school. School is like 5 minutes driving, and so I like 15 minutes walking. And so it was easier, and then come back for lunch because school finished at 1. And then my dad was there, my mom was there to having lunch, and then you have a siesta. So like a 50, like 30 minutes nap or a 1 hour nap. The whole town is closed. Like every single store is
Okay.
closed. Nobody's working from like, I think it was from 1 to 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Nobody was working. Every single store was closed.
Oh, that's nice. To have like so is that like a break time period kind of?
It is like a, I mean, like they call it siesta. And so
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and everybody, like it's a nap time and everybody has to sleep at that time. So it was like kids
Oh,
don't sleep, they play
oh,
around.
okay.
But parents, they sleep. And so then they go back to work until like 6 that they come back and everybody having dinner together. So that was a big difference in relation to food and have I think it's family oriented thing. So I really miss that part. Other thing that I miss is I mean, like I can say that it's different. When I came to here, it was like events like going out with my friends and go to the movies
Yeah.
or go to the park or go. I didn't have that here, so it was kind of like I miss that. I really enjoy when I was in Peru, and I really and like I enjoyed for a short period of time because I was very young when I came here. So and
Mhm.
then but I move on, of course, and I adapted here, adapted with the food, adapted with the events. So those are the things that they are very, very different here in the United States. So that
Yeah.
kind of was like a, it was shocking, but then at the end, I have to adapt to what it was. Oh, sorry,
You're good.
what it was. Yes. So
Um, Another question I had was, what did you find it like hard to like kind of connect with the people here because of like cultural differences? Was there like a kind of like a disconnect there? Because I know that's like a lot of that's kind of something that even like now it happens in the U.S. just through like even if we were all born in the U.S. like there's always like the cultural differences between like people of different races.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
sorry.
I no, that's fine. So I feel like it is a, like even though I moved with my aunt and my uncle, like I said before,
Mm,
it was even though we came from the same country, speak the same language and all of that, it was different. They were raised different than my mom raised me. My cousins were there. They also were raised different with their parents. So for me, it was even though that we're from the same country, we have a different way to do things. And when I came here, my biggest barrier was the English. So I didn't speak the language, and so I have to study. So and communicate with other people on
yeah.
top of not knowing the culture. So it was really hard. But I think my idea of being in this country, it was um, so welcoming in my life. I mean, like I really love this country, so I make every single effort to try to communicate and trying to learn the language and trying to be part of the community. So
Right.
it was hard. I won't lie to you, it was really hard. But I think I I met wonderful people when they just came here, and also I continue having connection with some of them. Some of them I just don't continue having that friendship. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
guess it's life, and even though, like you say, we all are here, we and so many of your generation, they were born here, they have different cultures, they have
Right.
different ideas, different, but I guess that is normal because each person is in each family is different. So and but we're trying to I guess balance and trying to be similar to each other and accept each other, which is good, and trying to learn from other cultures
Right.
and
Yeah.
to learn from like you're trying to learn maybe from me, and I trying to learn from you.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like
Mhm,
nice to like,
mhm. Yeah,
have that kind of like culture share.
yeah, yeah. So
Um, sorry, we have a question um from MP for Change. It says, "How was it being raised as a woman in Peru versus U.S. and as a female versus male?"
um, okay, it's very different to be raised in Peru. It's like they very parents are very overprotective to girls more than males,
Mhm.
and we have a very, I will say, machista
Yeah,
culture. So men are usually the ones who would they like handle most of the things in the house, like not in the house, in like economically and career oriented more than women. Women mostly are the ones that stay home with the kids and not like in here. In here, both of the parents have careers. They can both um, share like the same ideas or different ideas, and then both continue raising the kids, and it's not necessarily that the woman has to stay home and raise the kids.
okay. So it's I see. Okay. And were you did they like separate the way they kind of like, like taught you versus, they taught kind of the boys or anything? You know what I mean? Like they like kind of have these like things they tell you, like I guess maybe even when you're young, like, oh, like the guys are supposed to do this and the girls are supposed to do this. Was that like kind of something that you were always told, or was it kind of just like something that you saw and like wasn't said?
It was
Okay.
it's pretty much it's pretty much like that in Peru. And I think it's still, I mean, it's been more than 30 years that I don't live there, but I can see in my family that we continue talking. So that it's the kids are raised that way. Like men are supposed to do this and women are supposed to do that. And so it's it's a culture that the male figure is like the head of the house, right?
Yeah.
And it's not equally done with women. So which I feel like at one point they have to like change, because women also like careers, also are capable to do a lot of things. Like
Mhm.
we have women that they now are presidents, and in Peru especially we have a female president, and it's the first one. But um, I guess at least we past that period that only men can be president of the country. So
Right.
nowadays, so at least we have that already, and we experiencing that
Mhm.
at this point.
It's like kind of like a step forward from like, what you were or what
Yeah.
was like being done before, which is like really, really nice. And like, um, talking about this like with the US as well, did you notice any difference kind of in ideals? Like I know uh like the general ones kind of like um the man's supposed to do this, or like they're supposed to do the work outside the house, and the woman's supposed to be doing the inside like of the housework, kind of like the chores and stuff. Did you find any like difference
No.
in no, it was all the same. Yeah, I was just wondering.
No, I think in here it's more more equality
Yeah,
between
it's definitely like
yeah,
I
I
guess the
mean,
US is more.
yeah, we if we
Yeah.
have to do the garden, we have to do the garden. If we have to help, we have to help, right?
Right.
And we all work, and so and we all have our goals, and I guess we all go to school, we all have careers, and so in that I can see that in Peru, but not like 100% of the population is doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe like let's say, to be nice, 60% of the population is doing that. So, uh, and and they, although the women have career and they work same as men and they have same schedules and everything, it's not 100% accepted. It
Yeah.
is still some, like, um I don't know how to say it, but like it's still people that they don't believe that they're supposed to do that, that the woman belongs to the house, and then there's, therefore if they have kids they're supposed to be at home and stay like a stay home mom,
Right. Yeah.
and not everybody's like raised to be a stay home mom. There are
Yeah.
women that they have a lot of um, goals and they want to be different, you know.
Mhm. Which is that it's really good that there's, there's kind of it's almost nice to have that difference because you kind of know that there's like, the mentality of the people are like changing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's also another question. Um, it says, "Do you feel undervalued as a female in Peru?"
Um, Me particularly, no, because I, I don't let them. No, but I feel like women in general, yes, they are undervalued.
Mhm.
I I believe that they sometimes they don't work because their husband don't want them to work, and so
Oh,
and they even have the career, but they don't work because the husband say no, you're not working because you have to stay with the kids, and that kind of like for me is something that I don't accept.
yeah.
So
No, I agree. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, if a person got as far as having a career, why not to do what they study for, you know?
Right. Speaking of degrees, I know you have an interesting job, um, as well as an interesting career. How was your like school life and like kind of your whole journey in that kind of course?
When I came here, I like I say, I didn't speak the language, so I have to study the language first.
Yeah.
So I start working immediately in a travel agency. So when I start working in a travel agency, I start meeting a lot of people. So which really like open a different environment for me. Like it wasn't just like knowing certain kind of people, like from my culture, from like Peru or Spanish, or no, it was more like general from all over the world. So I really enjoyed that, and I at that point in my career, I decided that I want to study something with numbers because I really like that. So I started studying in New York, and then um, I I work for an international company, which also allows me to learn a lot of cultures and a lot of people. And I really enjoy having conversations and learning about different cultures. That's very interesting. And um, I think I didn't finish my career at the time. I started working right away, right? And so, and like few years ago I decided I finished my career, and I it wasn't crazy smooth, but it was okay because we were during the pandemic, and so I decided to start to
Yeah.
finish. And so, and I'm proud of myself, like I finished what I really like it. And
Yeah.
so, and I really encourage anybody or like who wants to do something else even at an adult age. I
Yeah.
believe that you can do whatever you want to do if you really have the heart on that.
And I think it's like I feel like it's a good feeling to kind of, finish like know you finished it out how you wanted to finish out your job. And also it's good for you for, going through it all the way. Um, and like congratulations on your retirement. Um, and there's another question. Living in the USA, what do you feel are the challenges for living here as a female?
That's a good question. Well, as a female, as I will say more like a mother, it's more challenges to and to that role. Uh, because although you have like the same, you kind of equal with your partner or with your husband to raise your kids, it's always like like more of the um things that they have to do. You have to worry about it, like schedules and all of that. And so I feel like as a mother, you have a lot of more responsibilities. And so, and it's more like detail oriented responsibilities, not like a big responsibilities. Because if you go to the kid has to go to the hospital or the doctor or anything, either parent can take it, right?
Right.
But like if you have a schedule extra activities, is I
Mhm.
think it falls more into the mother's role to find out how we can manage those activities than the father. So like the father
Yeah.
usually like they help, but like the mother has more like I think it's more challenging for the mother than the father to do this. Although they are there is more like um keep the schedule, see
Yeah.
who details.
Right. That's kind of what my mom does, or at least that's what she did for me and my brothers. And it was definitely like seeing it now. I can see that that was
Yeah.
definitely very stressful.
It
Um,
it is stressful. I think it's, I mean, running around like somebody has this, the other one has that. And so
yeah.
putting all in place together, I think it's a little bit challenging for a mom. And as
Yeah.
a woman, I feel like that was one of the biggest challenges I had when my kids were little. Now that they are like they are adults, I don't really do any schedule.
um, there's two more questions here. The next question is, what are challenges of parenting here in the U.S.?
Oh,
Which is it's very similar, but
I think it's also additional of that. Um, it's uh, we we don't know. I mean, like I always tell my kids, be careful where you go because we
yeah.
don't know who like improve. I'm gonna say this. This is something that I always tell to my kids. It's like improve. I kind of in my small town, I kind of knew everybody, and my parents knew everybody. But in here, I don't know, and that for me is very worry. I'm very worried about that. That in somebody who they don't know, especially when were little, that they don't know, they talk to them and they take them from me. That is something that I always thought about and when they were little, because you never know who will be and who's around. And that for
Right.
me is for as a parent, it was a challenge to keep that keep a close eye on my kids, because I used to work like a nine to five job, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's definitely tough. Kind
Mhm.
of like yeah, no, that's tough, especially kind of on the mom, I believe for sure.
Yeah.
And another question, the next question is, looking back at your life, which country do you recommend living in, Peru or US, for a lifestyle? And then also as a parent, kind of as two separate answers.
That's a hard question. Well, I don't try to say this one is better than this one. I try to
Mhm.
balance both, um, because even though Peru was it's a nice country and it was an easy life, right now I will not go back to live there because of security, and I value
Yeah.
my security. And so, uh, but in here is also a lot of things. I mean, like here, but especially security for us is priceless, right?
Mhm.
And for me, I think a a good balance will be spending 6 months here and 6 months there.
Yeah.
That will be the ideal. But I don't know. I mean, like I don't know what the future is, and we still have few more years before everybody's retired, so we can move into that
Yeah.
into that into that situation. So, but that Peru is nice if you're young, and so and you wanna have a nice lifestyle, and especially if you want to raise kids. But in here it's also nice. I mean, like Pennsylvania, I love Yardley. I think it's a nice place. We have nice schools. We have nice areas, and so and I think it will be hard to decide.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty fair considering like, they're both, places that you lived in, but they're also very the same but also different at the same
Different,
time.
yeah,
So you
different.
can't kind of replace like one with the other.
Yeah,
Um oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, it is different. But at the same time, they both have their own thing, their own good things that you can say. Like for example, in Peru, the food. I mean, the food in Peru is amazing. So I always like when I think about Peru, is like my first thing is that what I'm gonna eat when I go back to Peru. Like although in here we keep our traditions, right? We eat
Mhm.
ceviche, we eat arroz con pollo, we eat
Mhm.
different things that normally we eat in Peru. Uh, when I think I'm going back to Peru, my idea and the first idea that comes to my brain is what I'm gonna eat there.
What's your favorite food that you would go eat?
I,
Maybe it's a recommendation or
oh my God, in Peru, and like they have so many dishes and they're all really nice. But the most famous one in Peru is ceviche, which is food fish, but it's raw fish cured with lime juice, and it has onions, and it has hot peppers, and it has cilantro, and it's very refreshing because where I come from is an area where it's really like it's really near to the equatorial line, so it's really
yeah.
hot all the time. You never
Mhm.
have like winter is like in the 70s, and they all have
That's
jackets.
crazy. Yeah, that's
And
I
they're all wearing jackets when they have like 70 degrees. It's like, oh, it's freezing cold. No, it's not cold. You don't know what cold is. So, and ceviche is very refreshing. So people like to eat ceviche. It's the most famous dish in Peru. But they have also other dishes, um, one based on potato and sauce that is made with cheese. It's called papa la huancaína. It's also very famous. And arroz con pollo, which is chicken and rice, but they have a very particular way to do it. It's not like just chicken and rice. It's like
yeah,
they have to like cook cilantro and blend this, and it's like a whole process that they do it. And so, and for us, it's like missing those things. When we go back to Peru, it's like the first thing that you have to think is what you're gonna eat,
yeah.
because
Which
there's so many dishes.
I guess yeah. No, I haven't tried too much Peruvian food, but when I do, I will probably
Yeah,
try one of those things.
yeah.
And
Well,
there's another question as well. It says you are married to a non-Peruvian. How did your parents handle that?
yeah, my husband is American, so and uh, we try to balance. Like we I mean, I really welcome any advice from the culture or anything from the culture. And my husband likes to cook, like he's a chef. So, but we try to, like, for example, Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Peru, so we kind of like make it all American things. And so, and he cooks, he makes all the American dishes, and we introduce certain things like, I don't know, like I will say, like plantains that we eat a lot. So we introduce that in our family get together, right? And if for Christmas, uh, since we both celebrate Christmas,
Yeah.
so when the kids were little, we used to celebrate. In Peru we celebrate Christmas Eve. So the 24 at 9, we have to wait until midnight to open the presents. So, and then,
Yeah, I
and
used to do this. Sorry. This just reminds me of kind of when we used to not wait, and then I went to my uncle's house, and he was like, "Yeah, everybody has to stay up till midnight, and then we get to open the presents, and
yes,
then everything, and then we just get to do, have like breakfast and the next morning, actually on Christmas."
right.
So
So that's what we do. I mean, like all my family gets together here in Christmas, and we open the presents. And my kids, when they were little, the presents from us, they were open in the morning at 6 in the morning when they wake up. So,
Mhm.
and then we had breakfast. And so uh, I tried to incorporate my Peruvian things into the American culture, because
Yeah,
it's also it's a holiday that we both celebrate, but we also are here with trying to be part of their culture too, right?
right.
So, and the good thing is, my husband also is accommodates the things that I like too. So, like, I try to be a little bit Peruvian everything that I yeah, and he likes that too. So,
Okay,
and yeah, and when he goes to Peru also, he loves the food. I mean, like, the first thing that we say, what we're gonna eat, what we're gonna do there, is
right.
like and then I think it's everybody does that, and because you miss things in that you used to that you grew up with. And so that's
Mhm.
that's what it happened to us when we go back to Peru.
So you like I so you like slowly kind of, or not slowly, but like in a lot of like, normal like days of work, or as well as like holidays, you kind of just like incorporate a little bit of Peru as well as kind of like the general US culture. Is that kind of like what happens?
And well, yes, in the holidays, and also I will say, like, in Peru, 90% of the people, I think it's 90% or 80% of the population is Catholic. So I was born, raised Catholic. And
Mhm.
so my husband is not. So we're trying uh, to do the things that the kids will go with, like for the future. So for me, I was raised Catholic, so I took them to church. I took them to do the things that I used to do. So for me, it was that. And for him, it was a different story. He used to take them to their church. And so at the end, the kids went on both ideas, and they will decide what they want to do.
I think that's, yeah,
Mhm,
that's fair.
mhm,
There's another question.
mhm.
It says you have a chef as a husband who cooks at home. You have many good dishes. Does he do the Peruvian dishes justice?
Well, I have a chef at home. Yes, it's true. But my mom, my mom and my brother, they both cook Peruvian food. My brother is an expert making ceviche, and my mom too, but she loves to make other dishes that Ian say, oh, my son Ian say, I want to have this, like, abuelita, as like grandma makes it, like that way I want to have it. So
I see.
yes, and so it is. I mean, they are they for me to keep. them and with my to keep my culture with my and my kids is like they learn Spanish, they eat the food that my mom cooks, and so
Mhm.
and they also try the Peruvian restaurants, and whenever they go to Peru they eat Peruvian food, but they also what the dad wants to
Yeah.
have them, and they introduce in the diet introduced to different food. So at the end, when they are adults, they will. I mean, when now they are adults, they have to decide what they want to eat or they want to do.
Mhm. So you kind of like gave them both options, like so they know about this, and then they also know about this, and they kind of just get to choose, you know.
Exactly, because I mean, like there is nothing. None of the culture is better. None of them is one is better than the other one.
Right.
So it's just if they want to mix them, fine. If they want to keep one, fine. Or they want to keep the other one. But at the end, I feel they need to see both cultures. They need to learn about both parents, and
Mhm.
so and they and then introduce their kids to both cultures, and so I think that's the best for everybody.
Because I think that's like a good. It's honestly seems like such a good balance because then you kind of know more about the world kind of as
Mhm.
a whole. Knowing the difference in cultures, like the different lifestyles, different like um teachings, like kind of like you have um more knowledge kind of about like what everybody kind of like the difference in what people do in their homes kind of, which is
Yeah.
I think it's like a really cool thing. um and there's another question: if you were in Peru and a young adult, how would you find a partner?
Oh wow, I don't know that now. But before, when I was there, we used to have well eh, we used to have parties at home that like
Mhm.
people will be invited to party, and the parents will know, the parents will be in the house, and you will have like 50, 60 kids in your house with the music blasting like the volume and like the I don't know, maximum volume.
Yeah.
And so and yes, and so that was the way that they used to meet people in Peru. Now
Mhm.
nowadays I think they go to clubs, and so
Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't know if they do internet. I'm not sure. But when I was there, we used to have parties like that. So like big parties with like 50, 60 kids, and so and uh and the parents they were supervising, and also we used to have like the parties were very restricted time, like from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And so you have
Oh,
to be home by 11 p.m. And
I
so
guess that's kind of smart because I know in the US they don't
yes,
they don't do that.
no. And you guys start your reunions, your meetings, your whatever get together at 10, 11 p.m. And so then go until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That was not a choice for me. My dad was very strict. So like if they say yes, you can go to the party, they pick me up at 11 and that's it. There is no way that if even if the party was until midnight, they will say until 11 is the time that you go home. So that's it. Yes.
There's another question here. It says, "How's college in Peru?"
It's very different than here.
Okay.
So in Peru, you have an admission test,
Mhm.
and so after you finish school, you go through this process of like a academic process they call it, and then after that you take the test to go into the university. Only like the 10th or the 20 top scores people go to the university. When I was in Peru, we have agreements with Argentinian government. So I took the test and I was able to get in school to Argentina. But I didn't like, not that I didn't like the country, I didn't like what I was studying. So I didn't, I did well. I passed the 3 years that I was in Argentina. But I think at this point of my life, if I have to do that career, I will be miserable because I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, that makes.
Yeah.
I think they shouldn't. I feel like they shouldn't kind of
Mhm.
push you towards
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
The
And
the parents in Peru were at my time they
yeah,
were very strict, and so and you have to do
um,
what they tell you to do. So and like if you have to, they tell you you have to study this, you will have to study that,
so
no
you
matter.
almost like don't have a choice, kind of.
Yes, yeah, you didn't have a choice. And so, and well, after 3 years, my aunt say, "Oh, you want to go to the United States so you can learn the language?" And so, and my sister and I would say like, "Yeah, okay." So we came to study, and then we never went back.
That's oh,
We
but
never went back, neither to Peru or Argentina. So.
oh, okay. But do you plan on like going in or like so you haven't visited Peru at all? And
Uh, no, no, no. I went last year. I was planning to
oh,
go
okay.
this year, but maybe at the beginning of next year, I'm planning to visit Peru. Yeah,
And what?
every 2 3 years I go.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah,
Kind of like almost like a recharge before you come back to the U.S.
yeah,
Um,
and also see my family. Although my parents are here, I still have aunts, cousins, uncles, and everybody there too.
right. And I was gonna ask, what kind of things like did you like to do in the U.S. or in Peru, like kind of, or when you were growing up, or even like as you were going back to visit family and stuff?
Like I told you before that I live near to the equatorial line.
Yeah,
So like the whole year is mostly summer. So we enjoy a lot of time at the beach and it's very free spirit. And like you have like like pickup trucks,
yeah,
so then people don't need seat belts, don't need anything. It's like so rural. So and I love when I go there to spend time there because it's like you don't even have signals for internet.
oh wow, yeah, I could never imagine that here.
So it's very nice. So it's like disconnecting you from everything. So last time that I went there, last year, I spent a week there,
Mhm.
and it's really nice. It's growing. Like when I was little, it was just one line in front of the beach of the houses. Now it's like 4 rows of houses. So it is bigger, but it's still very popular. A lot of people do that, and I really enjoy that because a lot of my friends do the same thing. So I can
Yeah.
connect with them. I can see my family. During the summer, especially, like most of the people spend the summer over there.
Okay.
So they like that a lot, and they do like it's called a surf in the sun, like the
Mhm.
yeah. So they do a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of that. They do a lot of motorcycle. They do a lot of those things in there.
That, that sounds nice. Maybe I should go to Peru.
Yeah.
What kind of? And I was just thinking because, like, I know how like all the beaches are kind of different everywhere. Um, are they like blue water beaches or are they like more like kind of New Jersey ish
They're
area?
they're
Yeah.
dark. They're dark. I mean, like people have nice houses, and most of them they have pools, and so
Yeah.
people go to the
Oh,
beach,
okay.
but they don't go much to the. They like spend time at the pools, but there are other beaches there too that they're really nice. They're like blue water too, but you have to go farther than
Yeah, it's like a longer walk
Mhm.
or drive.
Drive. Yeah, a longer drive.
And when you came to the US, what were some things that you like to do as well? Like that were, I assume it was probably a bit different, than the things you may have liked to do in Peru. And
Yeah,
what were those things?
at the beginning, I really enjoyed doing dance classes, and I believe it or not, I took some belly dance classes.
Oh wow.
But it was only for like 6 months, and
Oh.
and I forgot about everything. But I really enjoyed that. And that was one of the that I like to dance. I really enjoy doing
Mhm.
dance. And I also took some flamenco classes. And
Yeah.
so, but then I think I got married and I forgot, and so yeah, that's it.
But how like from when you first came to the US and now and like I guess till now, have you like seen any like changes at all like throughout like your time living here kind of with any sort of like these any sort of like I guess lifestyle or ideals or like like what are some things that you saw kind of change with time?
um I think when I was young, when I was in Peru, I was um very, I will say, very quiet.
Mhm.
And when I came here, I learned to be more speak up a little, a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. So I think I noticed that a lot. And I guess because of age, you learn to be not aggressive, but you can be a go for it person. So, and I mean, I don't stop. I'm scared sometimes to do things, but I'll do it no matter what, because I want to learn.
Yeah, which I that's really good to have because I know like right now I kind of like I'm more of like in the part where like okay I like am a bit too scared. Hopefully I get the the confidence to
Exactly.
go and do the things because I feel um like you were saying I guess it kind of holds you back a little bit to be scared to try new things because like otherwise you may not have I guess come to the US if you were like too scared, which I think is really cool that you came here at like 20. I don't know if I could do that move to a new different country.
It is hard, but especially when you don't have your parents, I think it's
Mhm.
one of the things that I always have in my heart, that when I came here, I was pretty much with my sister and I, we were alone. And so, but then, and I think, well, you came alone, but you came and you did what you want to do. So you
Mhm.
are, and like you say, now I feel more confident. And yes, I'm scared to do things, but I'll do it because I feel like, okay, nothing's gonna happen. So if something is happening, you can fix it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
another question I was just thinking about, like, how different were like the people kind of, how like because I know you moved straight to New York. Um, how like what was the difference in like, behaviors of like people in general from like I guess Peru to like here? Like and maybe even like versus New York and Yardley.
Yeah, versus, I mean, New York and Yardley are totally different. New York is like the pace is really fast.
Yeah.
Everything is like, I don't know, really, like you're thinking and they're already doing it. So,
Mhm.
and here is more like, okay, we can do it. We have the time. We can go, and everything in New York is really far. It's not like close distance. So,
Yeah.
and I what I used to like about New York, that when I was young, is like I used to go out a lot with. I had few friends, and so we used to go out,
Mhm.
and not necessarily to only parties, but like we used to go to concerts and stuff like that. That I don't think in Peru I had it, and I don't know in here in Yardley they have like concerts around here, like
Yeah, no.
music. And then also in New York, they have different kind of music. Like they have a lot of, at that point, now it's more New York and New Jersey, but at that point it was only New York, that they had a lot of Latin um, singers, and then we used to go and see that. I remember seeing Shakira at that time. It was like, oh,
What? Wow.
and when she was very young, and so yeah, and singers like that, like
Yeah.
music like that, and so, and then also they had a lot of folkloric music from Peru, and
Mhm.
so, and I used to enjoy going watch those things, and so, and that is different from even from here to New York, from Yardley to New York. Yardley don't have much. Even in Philadelphia, I don't know if they ever have. I know concerts
Um,
like a big singers from here, from or like from the United States, right? But
yeah.
not from other countries. I never heard that. So I never
Yeah.
went anything around here. I always went in New York.
Okay. Because
Mhm.
I was just curious, just because, you know.
I
But
think it's more like a variety of things that you can do in New York than in here.
oh yeah, for sure. Because every time I like try to go out here, it's like I go out and I'm like, oh, I already went there. I already went there. I already went there. It's kind of like there's not too much here, but it's kind of nice that it's like small.
Yeah.
And do you prefer living in New York or like kind of do you prefer Yardley?
Oh, no. When you're young and you are single, you better be in New York.
Okay. I guess yeah, that's fair.
But when you have a family, I think it's better to be in an area like Yardley.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, New York, I don't know now, but before it was amazing. I had a wonderful time. Even when I was dating with my husband, we used to go to like all kind of events and things that different things that you can do. I mean, it's not only one thing. You have
Yeah.
like this like clubs, they have music, they have painting, they have whatever you want to do. It's really nice to have that like right there. So
Right. And was it tough to kind of like uh I know you found your husband, but was it like a kind of like tough thing to find somebody in the like find a partner in the US kind of coming from a different country?
yes,
Oh,
it was. It was really hard. But I guess when that meant to be, right? So
mhm,
yeah, so it I used to go out with my friends not to find a husband because I always thought I was never gonna get married, but
mhm.
uh, but yeah, I met him and through friends, and so and I think it's nice that we were able to complement each other and to like our both cultures and embrace both cultures too.
Yeah. I think it's
Cool.
nice like you found like a really nice way to kind of balance it out for sure for
Yeah,
your kids as well as just like for you
yeah.
and like your daily life kind of. There's one more question here. It says, "What advice would you give to young women from your life experience?"
I think do whatever you want to do, but always like be careful, right?
Mhm.
That makes you happy. Don't do things that just to do it. Just think about yourself.
Okay. Because um because it seems like is that what you kind of that's kind of what you did, right? Like
Yeah.
following your career. And do you think that would and you were saying that like it would have been so much better kind of to follow, you know, what you thought would be or like follow the things you liked. Did you find it easier to follow the things you liked or
Yeah.
was it still like just as hard?
I think no, I think it's easier when you do things that you like because you're happy doing it. And if you do something that you don't like, you're gonna be miserable. And so,
Yeah.
and what kind of life is that? So I really enjoy my work. I really enjoy being a mother. I enjoy being a wife. I have good friends, and I really try to do what I like to do most of the times. And I try to be realistic and be in peace with my life too.
Right. I think
Mhm.
that's. I should take your advice. Um, and just as one last question, kind of, before we wrap up, um, it's similar just to the question that you just gave, but what's one note would you like that you would kind of uh it's pretty much the same question. um what's one note that you would like to share with like the young, like with not just young women but like kind of um women in general who may be also, coming to the US or something like that. What's one piece of advice that you would like to give to them?
um, so I think if people come in and they're young, follow the dreams is one thing, but other thing is that make sure that you want to come to this country and be successful. Because if you come into this country to just be like whatever, I don't think uh, is is happiness in there. I think
Right.
you will be happy if you follow your dreams and you follow what you want to do. You don't If you don't follow what your heart is on, it is hard to be it's hard to be successful.
Right. And with that, thank you for coming on today, on today's
Anytime.
episode of Girls to Women. Um, if you viewers are interested in more things like this, hopefully we will have Miss Patricia on another episode, as well as please check out some of our other podcasts, Figuring Out, as well as Professionals of the Roundtable. Professionals of the Roundtable is on Wednesday at 8, and Figuring It Out is on Friday at 8. So if you're interested, please like and subscribe, and join us again for next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.